And to turn to have a look at the international newspapers, Elitsa Gadava is with us for that. And Elitsa, you're going to start with, well, it's a top story here in France for sure. Former President Nicolas Sarkozy set to arrive at prison here in Paris to begin his 5-year jail term. How are the papers reporting it?
That's right, Eve. Of course, it's dominating the front pages of French dailies. President in prison, that's a first in the history of the Fifth Republic and a first in Europe, according to Courrier Picard. The paper calls it an unprecedented sentence that's a sign of democratic health. And French left-wing Libération headlines with Sarkozy in the shadows. The paper says that the sentence has been given by an independent court, but unfortunately the event has been over-dramatized. Right-wing Le Figaro is also reporting on the prison sentence. It calls it a personal ordeal for Sarkozy and a political shock for the country. The paper reports that the former president is determined to regain his freedom quickly. And the newspaper says that Sarkozy is a victim of judicial despotism and that he's accused of an unfindable crime. The paper actually interviewed the former president 2 days ago, and Sarkozy said that his life is like a novel. In a sentimental description, the paper says that today he will experience, quote, a spectacle of humiliation, quite the opposite of what he experienced during his presidency, Eve.
Hey, even though his son has called on people to actually take to the streets and, wave him off as he leaves his home in the 16th and travels to the prison. But we have seen a bit of support for Nicolas Sarkozy in the days before his prison sentence. I mean, he was invited to the Elysee by President Emmanuel Macron on Friday.
That's right. And the president actually said that it's normal on a human level, given the context. That's what Le Monde here reports. And France's Justice Minister, Gérald Darmanin, also said yesterday that he will actually visit Sarkozy in prison to just ensure the safety conditions there. And he added that the Minister of Justice can visit any prison and any inmate whenever he wants. And communist paper L'Humanité is a bit more critical. It says that Sarkozy has been given a special treatment which shows the culture of privilege in the French prison system. The paper says that Darmanin is seemingly not concerned with other pressing issues like the record prison overcrowding, Eve.
Indeed, and that La Santé prison itself said to be heavily overcrowded. But let's move on to another story. And today is the publication day for the memoir of Virginia Giuffre, one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims. It's been published. How are reports about that?
That's right. It's called Nobody's Girl, and it was finished shortly before her death in April when she took her own life. I was Epstein's perfect victim. That's how she actually described herself. That's what the Times here reports. And she was only 17 years old when this picture was taken, and this is when she was reportedly accused, when she was reportedly abused by Prince Andrew. And he denied the allegations and said that the now infamous photos of him, Giuffre and Maxwell has been fabricated. And in a review here, the Telegraph calls it a stomach-turning study in depravity, adding that it's a book that truly matters. The Telegraph says that while reading it, there are times where you think, how much can a person endure? And The Guardian here focuses really on Prince Andrew and the part of the book that describes that he tried to hire internet trolls to hassle the author. In the book, she repeats her accusations that she was forced to have sex with the prince on 3 different occasions. And the memoir, of course, comes amid growing pressure for Prince Andrew to be officially stripped of his titles.
Indeed, to have them formally removed. Let's move on now to another topic. It's a science story. Papers reporting on a breakthrough innovation for many blind people.
That's right. It's a tiny implant in the eye that helps blind people of old age see, and the Times calls it revolutionary microchip, opening a new medical era. It's very, very small, like we can see here on the picture, and it's placed deep in the eye, in the back of the patient's eyeball, and patients who participated in the trial were living in darkness, but within a year after the implant was placed, they could recognize faces, do crosswords, and read books. And there's a success rate of 84%. The implant is connected to high-tech glasses, like we can see here on the picture, connected to a video camera that sends signals to the brain, and that's how it works. And the Times says that the research is an example of how tech devices can help with medical breakthroughs.
Okay, one positive story for tech issues. Finally, Elitza, you spotted a story about water, and not all water is equal. There's some very high-end water, apparently.
That's right. Apparently now water can be part of a fine dining experience, according to this feature article by the Wall Street Journal. The article follows Magdalena Kelly, who went to a Michelin-starred restaurant in LA for its famous water menu. We see the menu here, and it's a detailed book describing the flavor and texture of each water. And Kelly shared that, for example, she's obsessed with the French Evian water. And this is the water sommelier behind the innovative menu. And he says that the restaurant makes about $100,000 a year in water sales. So quite a big amount, but not everyone is buying the marketing, because these bottles can cost up to $100 per bottle. Many people just say it's a marketing scam, but actually restaurants that are serving a wide variety of waters are also opening up in Europe, in towns in Spain, Italy, Denmark, and in the UK. Maybe soon in Paris too, Eve.
$100 for a bottle of water. Okay, Elitza Gadava with a look at the international papers. Thanks very much indeed.